It's the Subway NFL postgame show, and Tampa Bay may be the quietest team to just continue to roll on. 7-4 now on the season, 19-13 victory, thanks to 6 Washington turnovers, 4 of those in the first half. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, NFL.com's Pat Kirwan. Glad to be with you. And, Pat, before we started this, you said to me that Washington couldn't beat Bruce Gradkowski, who came in on after the first series when Jeff Garcia went down with an injury. But I look at this and say, Washington couldn't beat the Tampa defense. Now, they couldn't beat, they beat themselves.
Fair point. And you know what? The Tampa defense is a classy defense, and they're one of the best in the NFL, and they don't do a lot of things. And in the first half, their 4-man rush was enough to keep the Redskins on edge. But Bruce Gradkowski comes in right away in series number 2. You got to go after the guy. You got to stop the run, which they weren't able to do, enough to force this onto Gradkowski's shoulders, and then go after him. And they weren't able to do it. And because of that, when they had their chance to win this game, they couldn't do it. And they were making their own mistakes on offense, a lot like the Giants were, spilling the ball over to the other guys. Let me say this. How many games have you ever seen where the team that won went 1 for 12 on third down, had 220 yards less than their opponent, and won the game? And, by the way, in the second half, the Tampa Bay Bucks had 0 first downs to 18.
0. That's the point. But what almost came back to bite them is that they had to settle for field goal after field goal after field goal in the first half. It didn't because of the play, not even so much the play of Jason Campbell, but he was baited into some throws in the second half that caused some interceptions.
Yeah, and you and I talked about it on Thursday in the pregame show. What did we say about Tampa? They're not going to do a lot, but they're going to do it really well. If you look at the 2 interceptions that ended this game, the last one was a cover 2 corner, playing 2 coverage, has been playing it all day, sinking, and they'll end up throwing the ball right to him. The first one late in the fourth quarter, Rondé Barber's on the slot, and he's playing the hook, but he sees and reads the quarterback, and he gets his 32nd career interception. If you talk to any Tampa players, they'll always tell you the same thing. We don't do a lot here, but we do it really fast, and you saw a great physical reaction from a lot of players.
If you're a Washington fan, after the way Jason Campbell played last week, and it was phenomenal against Dallas, are you just what are you saying to yourself right now? Are you saying, okay, this is what we have to live with because he's a young quarterback, or are you disappointed?
No, I'm not disappointed. I think Jason's the guy you're building on, and I think you got the right guy under the helm here, and he'll be fine in time. But he's playing against Monty Kiffin's defense. He's playing a lot of Derek Brooks, Rondé Barber, people that have been in this game a long time, and now you ask him to throw the ball over 40 times. He's not capable of it. What really set the problems up early, besides the turnovers, was the desire by the Redskins to run the ball with width. There were a lot of plays that were bounced outside, and when you play against Tampa in the cover 2, the way they play it, they can stop the run with 7 in the box if you're willing to run the stretch play outside. And they flow the defense down the line of scrimmage, and they meet you for no gain. And that continued to be a problem for them.
Tampa Bay 7-4. New Orleans also won at Carolina, so they're 5-7. So it's a 2-game advantage here for Tampa Bay. You think the Buccaneers win this division?
I think the Bucs win the division. I think this defense will stand strong the rest of the year. Garcia, I think we learned a couple things today. They didn't fall apart when Jeff had to go out for most of the football game. He was scheduled not to come back in the game, which we found out. But once that thing got within a touchdown, all of a sudden they found out we better get him back in there and finish the game. They'll be fine. They're going to get themselves in a situation where they're probably going to be the 3rd seed.
Yeah.
And it's and they'll cause some damage. If they can get a game at home with that defense, I think you'll see them do some damage.
That was my favorite part of the day. Charlie Casserly going like this with his notebook. What do you mean he's coming back in? They told me he's not in.
To me.
All right, folks. For more on this game or any other in Week 12, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. Watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. For Pat Kirwan, I'm going to find my notebook. I'm Jason Horowitz.
Take care.